When I sent this off, I assumed, just like old times, and Judy would give me a tick and then write a really constructive comment, but she did nothing. I'm out on my own now, I'm growing up. I've left the fold. And then I started, because she didn't change it, I thought, blackmail's a bit harsh, how will I explain that? And then Matt came up with it beautifully today. Remember how he had his daughter and the blackmail he used? Michael, the blackmail he used, I've already put it on the program. All right, that's wonderful blackmail. What did she do? Grabbed on. I don't want to be humiliated. You've got to use it. You've got to use it. Very powerful tool. All right, and bribery. And so what I do, I'll give you a little bit of a background. I'm an engineer, and I've only been out for a few years, and the reason I did it was only when I actually got out and did engineering that I realised just how wonderful maths was, and that no one had ever told me about it. Like, I was good at maths, and it was a bit like, being a gymnast. I'm really good at gymnastics, but what do I do with it? And mathematical modelling, no one told me about mathematical modelling. It was just, I couldn't get over it when someone said mathematical modelling. Modelling was, something that you were good looking, you did. It was something like that. So that was my big link, and I thought, this is one thing I can give the kids. I can always link anything in maths to something in the real world. And I initially started out there trying to stimulate their curiosity. But what I didn't realise was it was the most wonderful crowd management, class management behaviour tool. It was just magic. There would, there'd be times when it was like Lord of the Flies. They'd turn on each other. I want silence, and it was just, there I am on the levers, finally. Anyway, so this is how I do it. This is just, so I've got little, on the side of the board, and this was unfortunate because I only thought I'd present a couple of weeks ago. This is just the sort of fairly typical stuff I come up with. Drinking alcohol in plastic, white as blood smell of metal, xenon and Russian sheets, coral eyeballs, it's all there like that. So what I do is they come in, and I've got those things down the side of the board, and they know, they're all very, very well trained. They know if they do the right thing, I'll explain one. All right? And you can do beautiful stuff like, there's this fantastic one I heard, where do I get this stuff from? When you get old, you still get tired. You go to bed, but you don't sleep. You wake up. All right? And what happened, and you listen to podcasts and you read and stuff. Beautiful one came up, 2:30 this morning. All right? And it was all about why, they didn't put it like this, but this is how I'll put it on Monday. When is it really important to have a bath in grizzly bear blood? Why is it really important? Okay? And this is what I'll do with this class. If I see you writing or on your computers, I won't tell you. All right? We've got a mathematician here who's decided that the class doesn't want to know about grizzly bears. It's your choice. Let's go back to rationalising denominators. They turn on me. And it's particularly good with the knuckleheads. Like, I hear these little anecdotes about, Norton gets up and, we do this, that and the other. It'd be a goddamn right if we did some of that stuff at my class. The knuckleheads, though, they love this stuff. All right, so here are some of the little topics that I come up with. How does lava stop us being fish? All right, it's fluid dynamics. Oh man, you can go on about this. So what I'll do is I'll run them. The knuckleheads love this one. They love that one. Bees with learning difficulties. That is a really nice one. But what I'm going to do, and I'm going to this is what is down the side. This one's a good one. That one's really popular, up to year 10. Coral eyeballs. Fantastic. It's true. You disrupt the class again. Did I doubled that one up? Oops, how do I go back? There. Okay, so I have those up there, we rattle on, and the blackmail part, someone who's not doing so well, you go up to them and say, because I've said, look, until everyone does that exercise, I'm not going to explain this. You go up to him and say, look, I'll just keep this quiet. It's between you and me. You haven't done it. You do it for homework. I won't do it. And, then the mob will set upon him the next day if they don't do it. So which one do you want to explain? Just a show of hands. First one. Lava? No, that one?
Coral eyeballs.
Coral eyeballs. That's the one thing I can't do for maths, except they're now 3D printing's doing it. When you lose your eye, what they often do is they'll put a coral eyeball in there to attach the muscles, because you've got all those little micro pores in there that only coral could do before 3D printing came, and the muscle attaches on it, and then the glass bit's on the front of it. And the reason I know that is because the bloke engineer that worked for me had it. I said, I'll get on with you. And he went like this. And there was the coral bit behind it. What's another one? Cretinism and microchip rules. Now, I couldn't link the coral with maths, but cretinism is all about correlation factors. Okay? So what cretinism is, everyone thinks, you're a cretin, but it's actually an iodine deficiency. Right? And it's an Australian that developed it all. He did all that work in the highlands of New Guinea. So what's it got to do with my kitchen rules? So I give them a blurb about, you're in the data age, you've got all this data, you can make these correlations, and then that'll spur the investigation. You've got people with a bulb out here, they're no good at maths, lack of iodine, there must be some link, all right? My kitchen rules. See, once upon a time when you go to the supermarket, it was all salt with iodine in it. Now it's designer salt. Designer salt. They're starting to get people with thyroid problems because they're out of iodine. Okay? What's another one? Please let me explain why did the lava stop us being fish? Come on. Because the lava, the molten, all that fluid there, that's all moving around. Well, of course, it drags on the crust of the earth, right? Making bumps, making valleys, making mountains. If it didn't, we'd all be underwater. All that water would be evenly distributed. There'd be no dry land. Of course we'd be fish. And then once you start talking about fluid dynamics, that's just a mathematical wonder world, doing that sort of stuff. Now, some of the things you've got to do and I've got to be a bit careful. That's what I meant to say. You can't make a mistake with this. You cannot make a mistake with this, because you can say, look, I think that's right. Go and check for me, will you? I think I'm old. My memory's gone. I'm infirm. Go and check for me. Hieroglyphics. It's things like when people like Chinese, you can read something that was written 2,000 years ago in the hieroglyphics. If you've got a different dialect, can't understand each other, hieroglyphics, you can do it. Maths, exactly the same. You're talking in symbols, so that meaning, doesn't matter what your language is, will transfer. And then you start talking about the purity, the beauty of maths, and you rab it on, and all of a sudden the bell's gone. And anyway, what's another one? Oh, come. Which one? Oh, that's that. Now, what's that guy's name? So origami. What are you talking about? You're talking about making shapes. And one of your problems, especially when you get to applied mathematics, is you've got these. Say again. You interrupt again. I've spoken to other teachers about you. Origami, because the satellite, you want to compress something, you've got very limited space. There are constraints. It's like when you do a complicated applied mathematical problem, the boundary conditions actually tease out a lot of the solutions. Well, origami and satellite dishes, when they unfold all of those solar panels, they've all got to be folded up back into that satellite. There's a certain hinge. It's unbelievably complicated. And there's a maths professor who you're allowed to speak now. Well, that'd be a first, wouldn't it? What's another one? Oh, yeah, all right. Scientists love being wrong, and lawyers like being right. Scientists love being wrong because it means that progress is what's happening.
Just go both ways. So maybe more than 10 minutes.
All right, I'll leave you with it because we don't want to run out of time.